The attack came without warning. One moment, the space around the Seongsan was empty and quiet. The next moment, 3 large alien ships appeared out of nowhere, surrounding them completely. The ships were ugly and dark, covered with spikes and weapons. They were much bigger than the Seongsan, and their hulls were painted with strange symbols that looked like scratches or claw marks. Red lights blinked along their sides where weapon ports were opening. "Captain!" Taeho shouted from his station. 3 ships just appeared around us. They were using some kind of hiding technology. Wu Jin looked at the main screen and saw the alien vessels. They had formed a perfect triangle around his ship, with one in front, one behind, and one to the side. There was no way to escape without fighting through at least one of them. "Those are Vorthak ships," Minna said, her voice shaking. "They're pirates. Very dangerous ones." The Vorthak were known throughout this part of space as brutal raiders. They attacked merchant ships, stole their cargo, and often killed the crews. Human ships were some of their favorite targets because humans usually did not fight back very hard. A voice came over the radio, speaking in broken human language with a harsh, growling accent. "Human ship, you are trapped. Give up now and prepare to be boarded. If you fight, we will destroy you." Dahe ran onto the bridge from the engine room. Her face was pale with fear. "Captain, what do we do? Those ships have enough firepower to blow us apart." Taeho was already working at his station, trying to find a way out. "I'm looking for an escape route, but they've positioned themselves perfectly. We can't run without going through their weapons range. Can we call for help?" Dahe asked. Minna shook her head. "They're jamming all our communication channels. I can't send a distress signal." The alien voice came over the radio again, louder and angrier this time. "You have 30 seconds to surrender. Lower your shields and shut off your engines. Any attempt to escape will result in your destruction." On the main screen, they could see the alien ships moving closer. Weapon ports along their hulls were glowing with energy as the pirates charged their guns. Small fighter craft were launching from the larger ships, ready to swarm around the Seongsan if it tried to run. "Captain, we have to surrender," Taeho said. "We can't fight 3 warships with an old cargo vessel. They'll probably kill us anyway," Dahe added. "Vorthak pirates don't usually leave witnesses alive." Wu Jin sat quietly in his captain's chair, studying the tactical display. His crew was looking at him desperately, waiting for orders. They expected him to either surrender or try to run. Instead, he reached for the small covered panel on his chair that none of them had ever seen him touch. "Dahe," he said calmly. "Emergency Authorization Protocol 77 Alpha." Dahe stared at him in confusion. "Captain, I don't know what that means." "Minna," he continued. "Begin transmission on Emergency Channel 9. "Channel 9 doesn't exist on civilian ships," Minna replied, looking puzzled. "Taeho," Wu Jin said with a slight smile. "Plot an intercept course for the largest enemy vessel." "Captain, are you feeling okay?" Taeho asked. "An intercept course means we're going to ram them. That's suicide." The alien voice came over the radio again, now sounding very angry. "Your time is up, humans. Prepare to die." Energy beams started firing from the alien ships, but they were warning shots that passed close to the Seongsan without hitting it. The pirates wanted to capture the ship intact so they could steal its cargo. Wu Jin opened the covered panel on his chair and entered a long, complex code. As soon as he finished typing, alarms started going off throughout the ship, but these were not danger alarms. They sounded different, like the ship was waking up from a long sleep. "What's happening?" Dahe asked as she felt vibrations coming through the floor. "Captain, the ship's power readings are changing," Minna reported, staring at her instruments in amazement. "I'm detecting energy sources I've never seen before." All around the bridge, panels that had always been blank suddenly lit up with displays and controls. New screens showed weapon systems, defensive arrays, and military-grade sensors that were far more advanced than anything a cargo ship should have. The main screen changed too, showing a much more detailed view of the alien ships. The display marked weak points in their armor, calculated firing solutions, and tracked the movement of their fighter craft with perfect accuracy. "This isn't possible," Taeho whispered, watching numbers and targeting data flow across his navigation screen. "Cargo ships don't have this kind of equipment." Wu Jin stood up from his chair and straightened his uniform. When he spoke again, his voice was different. It had the authority and confidence of a military commander. "Dahe, you are not just an engineer. You are a combat systems specialist. Your real job is to maintain the weapon systems on this ship. Dahai's eyes went wide. What are you talking about, Captain? Minna, you are not just a communications officer. You are a military intelligence specialist. Your job is to monitor enemy communications and coordinate our tactical response. Minna looked confused and frightened. Captain, I think the stress is getting to you. Teho, you are not just a navigator. You are a tactical weapons officer. Your job is to calculate firing solutions and coordinate our attack patterns. Attack patterns? Teho repeated weakly. Wu Jin walked to the center of the bridge and looked at each of his crew members. And I am not Captain Li Wu Jin of a cargo vessel. I am Admiral Li Wu Jin of the Human Defense Corps. The crew stared at him in shock. The Human Defense Corps was the elite military force that protected human space from alien threats. Their ships were the most advanced vessels in the human fleet. This ship is not the cargo vessel Seongsan, the Admiral continued. This is the HDS Seongsan, a military assault carrier disguised as a civilian freighter. As if responding to his words, the ship began to change around them. Panels slid away from the walls to reveal weapon controls and military equipment. The bridge expanded as hidden sections opened up, showing additional crew stations and tactical displays. But the cargo, Dahai started to say, is real. Admiral Wu Jin replied. We do carry supplies to New Busan, but that is our secondary mission. Our primary mission is to patrol this area and eliminate pirates who attack human ships. The alien voice came over the radio again, but now it sounded worried instead of angry. Human ship, what are you doing? We detect energy signatures that should not be possible. Admiral Wu Jin smiled as he looked at the tactical display. The alien ships were still in the same positions, but now they looked much less threatening. His ship had weapons and defenses they could not even imagine. This is Admiral Li Wu Jin of the Human Defense Corps ship Seongsan, he said into the radio. You have attacked a military vessel of the human fleet. You have 30 seconds to withdraw from this system or face the consequences. On the main screen, they could see confusion and panic spreading through the alien ships as their sensors detected the massive weapon systems that were now powering up all around them. Captain Li Wu Jin stood on the bridge of his ship, looking out at the stars. The Seongsan was not a big ship. It was old and looked worn down. Paint was peeling off the walls and some lights flickered when the ship moved through space. Anyone who saw it would think it was just another old cargo ship trying to make money by moving goods from one place to another. Wu Jin was a man in his 40s with short black hair and calm eyes. He always kept his uniform clean, even though the ship around him looked old. He had been the captain of the Seongsan for 3 years now. During that time, he had never lost a cargo shipment or failed to reach his destination on time. The ship was carrying food supplies to New Busan, a small colony on the edge of human space. The cargo hold was full of rice, vegetables, and meat that had been frozen for the long trip. The people on New Busan needed these supplies badly. Winter was coming to their planet, and their own crops had not grown well this year. Park Dahai was working in the engine room below the bridge. She was a young woman with strong hands and oil stains on her work clothes. She knew every part of the ship's engine and could fix almost anything that broke. The engine made strange noises sometimes, but Dahai always found ways to keep it running. Kim Tae-ho sat at the navigation station. He was a tall man with glasses who loved studying star maps. He knew the safest routes through space and which areas to avoid. Pirates often attacked ships in this part of space, so choosing the right path was very important. Tae-ho had picked a route that would keep them away from the most dangerous areas. Choi Min-ah worked at the communication station. She was quiet and always listened carefully to radio signals from other ships. Her job was to talk to space traffic control and other ships they met along the way. She also watched for any emergency signals that might come from ships in trouble. The 4 crew members had worked together for a long time. They trusted each other and knew how to do their jobs well. The Seongsan might look old, but the crew kept it running smoothly. As they traveled through space, Wu Jin noticed something strange on the sensor display. There were shadows at the edge of their detection range. The shadows appeared and disappeared like someone was trying to hide from their sensors. He frowned and looked more carefully at the screen. Dahai, he called into his communicator. Are you seeing any problems with our sensors? No, Captain, came her voice from the engine room. Everything looks normal down here. Why do you ask? I'm getting some strange readings. Could be nothing, but I want to be sure. I'll run a check on all our systems, Dahai said. Give me a few minutes. Wu Jin continued to watch the sensors. The shadows came and went, but they seemed to be moving in the same direction as his ship. That worried him. Random sensor errors did not move in patterns. Tejo looked up from his navigation screen. "Captain, I'm seeing some unusual readings too. It looks like something might be scanning us." "Scanning us?" Wu Jin moved over to look at Taiho's screen. "Are you sure? The energy patterns look like scan beams, but they're very weak. Someone is being careful not to be detected." Mina turned around in her chair. "I'm not picking up any radio signals from other ships. If someone is out there, they're not talking." Wu Jin felt a cold feeling in his stomach. Ships that scanned others without announcing themselves were usually up to no good. Pirates often tracked cargo ships this way before attacking them. "Dahai, how long until you finish that system check?" he asked. "Almost done, Captain. Wait. I am seeing some power fluctuations. Very small ones. They could be caused by scan beams hitting our hull." "That confirms it," Wu Jin said quietly. "We're being watched." The crew looked at each other with worried expressions. They all knew what this probably meant. Pirates had found them and they were planning an attack. "What should we do, Captain?" Tejo asked. "Should we change course?" Wu Jin thought carefully. If they changed course suddenly, whoever was watching them would know they had been detected. That might cause the watchers to attack right away, but if they kept going straight, they might be able to reach a safer area of space. "Keep our current course," he decided. "Act like we don't know they're there." "Tejo, how long until we reach the next shipping lane?" "About 6 hours, Captain. There should be other ships there." "Good. Pirates don't like to attack when other ships might see them." Wu Jin walked back to his captain's chair. "Everyone stay calm and keep doing your jobs normally. Don't let them know we've spotted them." The hours passed slowly. The strange sensor readings continued, and sometimes they got stronger. Whatever was following them was getting closer. Wu Jin tried to look relaxed, but inside he was preparing for trouble. Dahai came up to the bridge to give her report in person. She looked nervous. "Captain, those scan beams are definitely getting stronger. I think there might be more than one ship out there." "How many do you think?" Wu Jin asked quietly. "Hard to say for sure, but maybe 3 or 4 ships. They're being very careful to stay hidden." Wu Jin nodded. 3 or 4 ships was a lot for pirates. Usually they only needed one ship to attack a cargo vessel like the Seongsan. Having so many ships meant they were either very careful or they expected a fight. "Captain," Mina said suddenly, "I'm picking up some very faint radio signals. They're using a frequency that most civilian ships can't detect. Can you understand what they're saying?" "No, it's in an alien language." "But the signal pattern suggests they're coordinating something." Wu Jin's hand moved to a small panel on his captain's chair that none of his crew had ever seen him use before. His fingers touched the cover, but he did not open it yet. "Everyone keep working normally," he said, "but be ready for anything." The Seongsan continued through space, looking like a helpless old cargo ship. But Wu Jin's eyes were sharp and alert. He was waiting for something to happen, and he had plans that his crew did not know about yet. The transformation of the Seongsan was amazing to watch. What had looked like an old worn-out cargo ship was changing into something completely different right before their eyes. Large sections of the hull began sliding apart like puzzle pieces. The rusty, damaged exterior plating fell away to reveal shining military armor underneath. The entire outer shell had been fake, designed to make the ship look weak and helpless. Dahai watched in wonder as the cargo bay doors opened below them. Instead of containers full of food, she saw rows of sleek fighter aircraft lined up and ready for launch. Each fighter was painted with the blue and silver colors of the Human Defense Corps and equipped with the most advanced weapons available. "How is this possible?" she asked, still trying to understand what was happening. Admiral Wu Jin walked over to a new control panel that had emerged from the floor. "The outer hull was designed to hide our true nature. We appear to be a simple cargo ship, but underneath we are one of the most powerful vessels in the human fleet." Weapon turrets rose from hidden compartments all along the ship's hull. Point defense guns, missile launchers, and energy cannons appeared where there had been empty space before. The ship was bristling with enough firepower to destroy a small fleet. "The food supplies are real," the Admiral explained as he activated more systems. "We do deliver them to New Busan, but they are stored in special compartments that leave room for our military equipment." Mina stared at her communications console, which now showed displays she had never seen before. "Admiral, I'm detecting multiple military frequencies and encrypted channels. This equipment is far beyond anything on a civilian ship. Because you are not civilians, Admiral Wu Jin replied. You are all military personnel. Your memories of being civilian crew members are false identities created to protect our mission. Taiho looked confused and frightened. What do you mean, false memories? You volunteered for this mission 3 years ago. Part of the assignment required having your memories adjusted so you would believe you were civilian crew members. This was necessary to make our disguise perfect. But I remember my life before joining this ship, Dahai protested. Those memories are real, but incomplete. You were a combat engineer in the Defense Corps before volunteering for this special assignment. Your skills with engines and machines made you perfect for maintaining our disguised weapon systems. As the Admiral spoke, new memories began surfacing in Dahai's mind. She remembered military training, advanced weapon systems, and tactical scenarios. It was like waking up from a long dream. Mina, the Admiral continued, you were a communications intelligence specialist. Your job was to monitor alien communications and break their codes. The false memories made you forget your training, but your skills remained. Mina felt the same strange sensation as forgotten knowledge returned to her consciousness. She looked at her console again and suddenly understood all the complex military displays that had confused her moments before. Taiho, you were a tactical weapons officer on a battle cruiser before joining this mission. You specialized in navigation and fire control systems. As his real memories returned, Taiho found himself automatically understanding the weapon targeting systems that now surrounded his station. His hands moved to controls he had not touched in 3 years, but somehow still knew how to operate. Outside the ship, the Vorthak pirates were panicking. Their sensors were showing energy readings that should not be possible from a cargo vessel. The human ship's mass readings had changed too, indicating it was actually much larger than it had appeared. This cannot be real, growled the Vorthak war captain from his command bridge. Human cargo ships do not have military-grade weapons. His tactical officer was studying the sensor readings with growing alarm. War captain, I am detecting at least 40 weapon systems on that ship, and their shield generators are more powerful than our main battleships. Impossible. Scan again. I have scanned 5 times, War Captain. The readings are accurate. That ship has enough firepower to destroy our entire fleet. Back on the Seongsan, Admiral Wu Jin was calmly activating the ship's primary weapon systems. A massive energy cannon was extending from the center of the ship's hull. This was the spinal mount weapon, designed to punch through the heaviest armor. Dahai, bring all weapon systems online. Full power to shields and defensive arrays. Yes, Admiral, Dahai replied, her training taking over as she worked the controls with expert skill. All systems showing green. We are ready for combat. Mina, jam their communications and navigation systems. I don't want them calling for help or trying to escape. Jamming systems activated, Admiral. They cannot send or receive any signals. Taiho, target their engines and weapon systems. Prepare firing solutions for all 3 ships. Targeting systems locked on, Admiral. All weapons ready to fire on your command. The Admiral opened a communication channel to the Vorthak ships. War Captain, this is your final warning. Withdraw immediately or face destruction. The reply came back filled with rage and disbelief. This is a trick. Some kind of human deception. We will not be fooled. It is no trick, Admiral Wu Jin replied calmly. You have attacked a military vessel of the Human Defense Corps. You now face the consequences of that decision. On the tactical display, they could see the Vorthak ships moving into attack formation. The pirates had decided to fight rather than retreat. Their pride would not let them back down from what they still believed was just a cargo ship with some kind of fancy holographic disguise. They're powering up their weapons, Mina reported. All 3 ships are preparing to fire. Let them, the Admiral said. They are about to learn why attacking human ships is a very bad idea. The largest Vorthak ship fired first, sending a stream of plasma bolts toward the Seongsan. The crew watched as the energy blasts struck their shields and disappeared without causing any damage at all. Their weapons cannot penetrate our defenses, Dahai reported. Our shields are holding at full strength. The other 2 Vorthak ships joined the attack, filling space with energy beams and missile explosions. But none of their weapons could harm the disguised human warship. The Seongsan's shields were designed to withstand attacks from much more powerful enemies. Admiral, Taiho said, should we return fire? Admiral Wu Jin watched the useless alien attacks splashing against his shields. Yes, show them what a real warship can do. The Seongsan's response was swift and devastating. Admiral Wu Jin gave the order with calm authority, and his ship unleashed the full power of human military technology. The massive spinal cannon fired first. A beam of concentrated energy brighter than a star shot out from the center of the ship. The beam was so powerful that it lit up the entire area of space around them with brilliant white light. The energy blast struck the largest Vorthak ship directly in the center. The alien vessel's shields flickered for just a moment before collapsing completely. The beam continued through the ship's armor like it was made of paper, cutting the entire vessel in half. "Direct hit," Tejo reported, his voice filled with amazement. "The target has been destroyed." The Vorthak ship exploded in a massive fireball that sent debris flying in all directions. Secondary explosions rippled through both halves of the destroyed vessel as its ammunition and fuel supplies ignited. Within seconds, there was nothing left but glowing metal fragments drifting through space. The other two Vorthak ships stopped firing, their crews stunned by the complete destruction of their flagship. They had never seen a weapon that powerful before. Human ships were supposed to be weak and easy to defeat. "Launch fighters," Admiral Wu Jin ordered. Dahai pressed a series of controls, and the fighter bay doors opened completely. 12 sleek combat aircraft shot out of the Seongsan like angry insects leaving their nest. Each fighter was controlled by an advanced artificial intelligence system linked to human tactical officers. The fighters moved with impossible speed and precision. They split into 3 groups of 4, each group targeting one of the remaining Vorthak ships. Their weapons were small compared to the main ship's guns, but they were designed to be fast and accurate. The Vorthak crews tried to shoot down the attacking fighters, but the small human craft were too quick. They darted between the alien weapon blasts like they were dancing, never staying in one place long enough to be hit. "Fighter Group Alpha engaging Target 1, came a voice over the communication system. "Beginning attack run." The first group of fighters swarmed around the nearest Vorthak ship. Their laser cannons fired in perfect coordination, targeting the alien vessel's weapon systems and engines. Each shot was precisely aimed to cause maximum damage without destroying the ship completely. "Target 1's main engines are disabled," reported the fighter group leader. "They are no longer able to move." "Fighter Group Beta engaging Target 2, came another voice, targeting their communication and navigation systems. The second group of fighters attacked the third Vorthak ship with the same deadly efficiency. They fired small missiles that penetrated the alien ship's armor and exploded inside critical systems. Lights went out along the ship's hull as its main computer systems failed. Meanwhile, the Seongsan's main weapons continued firing. Tejo had targeted the engine systems of both remaining alien ships with surgical precision. The ship's secondary cannons fired focused energy beams that sliced through the aliens' engine compartments, like cutting through butter. "Both remaining targets have lost engine power," Tejo reported. "They cannot escape or maneuver." Mina was busy jamming every communication system the Vorthak ships had. "Admiral, I have blocked all their attempts to call for help. They also cannot coordinate with each other." The war captain of the second Vorthak ship tried desperately to contact his remaining ally, but only static came through his communication system. His ship was drifting helplessly in space, its engines destroyed and its weapon systems failing one by one. "Impossible," he growled to his crew. "One human ship cannot defeat 3 Vorthak warships." But his tactical officer was staring at the sensor readings with fear in his eyes. "War captain, that is not a normal human ship. Look at these power readings. It has more firepower than an entire battle fleet." The third Vorthak ship, the last one still able to fight, tried to ram the Seongsan in a desperate suicide attack. Its captain pushed the damaged engines to full power, hoping to destroy the human ship even if it meant sacrificing his own vessel. Admiral Wu Jin watched the approaching enemy ship with calm eyes. "Dahi, activate point defense systems." Immediately, dozens of small weapon turrets along the Seongsan's hull began firing. They created a wall of energy blasts that the Vorthak ship flew directly into. The alien vessel's hull was torn apart by hundreds of precise shots that struck it from every angle. The ship broke into pieces before it could reach the Seongsan. Its engines exploded, sending the wreckage spinning away harmlessly into space. "Threat eliminated," Dahai reported. "Point defense systems returning to standby mode." Now only one Vorthak ship remained intact, and it was completely helpless. Its engines were destroyed, its weapons were offline, and its communication systems were jammed. The crew could only wait and hope the humans would show mercy. Admiral Wu Jin opened a communication channel to the surviving alien vessel. "War captain, your fleet has been defeated. Your ships are destroyed or disabled. Surrender now, and you will be treated according to galactic law. There was a long silence from the Vorthak ship. Then the war captain's voice came over the radio, filled with defeat and fear. We surrender, he said quietly. Please do not destroy us. Smart choice, Admiral Wujin replied. Prepare to be boarded. Any resistance will result in your immediate destruction. Teho was studying the tactical display, amazed by what had just happened. Admiral, the entire battle lasted less than 10 minutes. We destroyed 2 warships and disabled the third without taking any damage. That is the advantage of superior technology and training, the Admiral explained. The Vorthak expected to fight a helpless cargo ship. Instead, they encountered one of the most advanced warships in human space. Dahai was looking at the weapon systems display. Admiral, we used less than 5% of our total firepower. We could have destroyed all 3 ships in the first volley. The goal was not just to win the battle, Admiral Wujin said. We needed survivors to spread the word about what happened here. Minna looked up from her station with curiosity. What do you mean, Admiral? This battle was not just about defeating 3 pirate ships, he explained. It was about sending a message to every criminal organization in this part of space. The Admiral walked to the main viewing screen and looked out at the debris from the destroyed Vorthak ships. From now on, every pirate who sees a human cargo ship will wonder if it might be another disguised warship. Fear will keep them away better than any patrol fleet could. The surrender of the last Vorthak ship marked the end of the battle, but Admiral Wujin's mission was far from complete. He had won the fight, but now he needed to make sure the entire galaxy learned what had happened here. Minna, have you broken their communication codes yet? He asked. Yes, Admiral. I have access to their entire communication network. They use a fairly simple encryption system. Good. I want you to broadcast everything that happened here across every pirate frequency you can find. Make sure every criminal organization in this sector sees what happens when they attack human ships. Mina worked quickly at her station, using the Vorthak ship's own communication system to send the battle recordings. The clear video showed the Seongsan transforming from a helpless cargo ship into a powerful warship, then destroying 2 enemy vessels and capturing the third. Message sent, Admiral. It's going out on all known pirate communication channels. Also send it to the galactic news networks, Admiral Wujin added. I want everyone to see this, not just the criminals. While Mina worked on spreading the message, Dahai was coordinating the boarding of the captured Vorthak ship. Human marines in combat armor moved through the alien vessel, arresting the surviving pirates and securing their weapons. The Vorthak war captain was brought aboard the Seongsan in energy restraints. He was a large reptilian creature with scales instead of skin and yellow eyes that showed both anger and fear. When he saw Admiral Wujin, he snarled with rage. You tricked us, he accused. This is not honorable combat. Honor? Admiral Wujin replied calmly. You attacked what you thought was a defenseless cargo ship. Where was the honor in that? The war captain had no answer. He looked around the bridge of the Seongsan, seeing the advanced military equipment and the efficient human crew. How many ships like this do you have? That information is classified, the Admiral said. But I will tell you this. Every human ship you see might be exactly like this one. You will never know which cargo vessel is really a warship in disguise. The alien's eyes widened as he understood the implications. If humans had more ships like this one, disguised as civilian vessels, then attacking any human ship would be incredibly dangerous. Take him to the detention area, Admiral Wujin ordered the Marines. Treat him according to galactic law, but make sure he understands that his piracy days are over. As the war captain was led away, Teho was monitoring the galaxy's communication networks. Admiral, the message is spreading fast. Pirates all over this sector are receiving the broadcast. What kind of reactions are you seeing? Fear, mostly. Several pirate groups have already ordered their ships to avoid all human vessels until they can determine which ones might be disguised warships. Minna looked up from her station with a smile. I'm also picking up communications from legitimate shipping companies. They're very happy to hear that someone is finally fighting back against the pirates. The Admiral nodded with satisfaction. This was exactly the reaction he had hoped for. Dahi, begin restoring our civilian appearance. We still have supplies to deliver to New Busan. Yes, Admiral. Dahai started the process of hiding the ship's military systems again. The weapon turrets retracted into their concealed positions. The fighter bays closed and the fake outer hull began sliding back into place. Within an hour, The Xiongsan looked like an ordinary cargo ship again. The only signs of the battle were the debris floating in space and the disabled Vorthak vessel that was being towed behind them. Course set for New Busan, Tai-Ho reported. We should arrive in 18 hours. Excellent. And our next patrol assignment? We're scheduled to follow the shipping route through the Kepler sector after we finish the delivery. Admiral Wu Jin settled back into his captain's chair as the ship jumped to hyperspace. Around him, his crew worked at their stations with renewed purpose. They remembered their true identities now, and understood the importance of their mission. The news of the battle spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On dozens of worlds, pirates gathered around communication screens to watch the impossible footage of a human cargo ship revealing itself to be a deadly warship. In the criminal underworld, the whispered warnings began immediately. Never attack a human ship, they said. It might be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Some pirate groups disbanded entirely, too frightened to continue their criminal activities. Others retreated to the furthest edges of civilized space, far from any human shipping routes. A few brave or foolish groups continued operating, but they gave human vessels a wide berth. The psychological impact was exactly what Admiral Wu Jin had planned. Fear was indeed more effective than firepower in many situations. Now every time a pirate saw a human cargo ship, they would remember the footage of the Xiongsan's transformation and wonder if this vessel might be the next disguised warship. 3 months later, the reports started coming in. Pirate attacks on human shipping had dropped by 90%. The few attacks that did occur were carried out by desperate criminals who avoided human ships until they had no other choice. Other human colonies began requesting their own disguised warships. The Defense Corps started converting more vessels, creating an entire fleet of sheepwolves that patrolled the trade routes. The Vorthak war captain, now imprisoned on a human penal colony, often told his fellow prisoners about the day he attacked what he thought was a helpless cargo ship. His story became a warning that spread throughout the criminal underworld. The humans are clever, he would say. They make you think you are the hunter, but really you are the prey. They watch and wait, and when you strike, they strike back 10 times harder. Back on the Xiongsan, Admiral Wu Jin and his crew continued their dual mission. To most observers, they were still just a cargo ship delivering supplies to frontier colonies. But hidden beneath that peaceful exterior was one of the most powerful warships in human space. Ready to remind anyone who forgot that attacking human ships was a very dangerous mistake. The message had been sent, and the galaxy had received it loud and clear. Underestimate humanity at your own peril.